fire. It's on the... Ah! He made it! Oh, my...
Hello everyone and welcome into Platte Arena. We've got another great Crossroads League matchup here tonight between the Huntington Foresters and the Bethel Pilots. Take a look at the two records there. Bethel comes in at 16-4, the Foresters at 13-7, and this game means a whole lot for HU. I'm Preston Husband alongside Connor Platt, one of my best friends, Forester great, 11th all-time leading scorer. Connor comes in with a lot of basketball knowledge and a great background here at Huntington University. Yeah, we're going to have a good time. We'll show you the standings real quick and why this means so much for Huntington. You can see Grace still undefeated, #1 team in the nation. Just saw IWU, a great game in here on Saturday, 9-1, 18-2 overall, 13 straight wins. Bethel has the tiebreaker right now over the Foresters. They beat Huntington up in Mishawaka in a 101-96 game. You like points. You're going to see a lot of them tonight, Connor.
You sure are. Drew Lutz comes in for the Bethel Pilots, averaging 25.5 points on the season, leading the conference, also dishing out about 4.1 assists per game, which is 6th best in the conference. And then on that Huntington side, as we all know, we got Lane Sparks, #20, and Zach Goodline, #55, that will lead the way, especially on that offensive end for the Foresters today.
And they're going to need every single one of those points tonight. Those two coming off 63 combined in a loss versus IWU. But, you know, Coach Corey Alford talked about it. You can't fault the effort. They just got a little out-physicaled and gave up too many rebounds. Tonight's key, simple, rebound the basketball. You've got a good chance of beating the Pilots.
Absolutely.
So we will go through the starting lineups here. First for the away Pilots, Drew Lutz, you've already covered it. He's one of the best players in the country. A transfer from Incarnate Word, where he played a ton at the D1 level. He wants to come a little closer to home from Granger, Indiana. Dynamite scorer, lefty. We'll see two good ones shooting it from the left side here tonight. They'll also start James Anderson. What a transformation he's made with his body. 80 pounds down since his time at St. Francis. Had a career-high 22 in the last game against the Foresters. Nathan Ertz, I should say, he's been there for a long time, gets it done around the rim. Trent Edwards out of Napanee, Indiana, has come on recently. And then Preston Phillips in Evansville transfer, another lefty for them, who's had a strong campaign, and someone that also Huntington was in on in the transfer portal in the offseason, goes to Bethel, played very well against them first time around.
Yes, if you're looking at that starting lineup for the Bethel Pilots, obviously, like we mentioned, Drew Lutz is going to lead the way, but they've got 3 other guys in that lineup averaging over 10 points a game, so it is a team effort on the offensive end. A lot of guys shooting the ball well from 3, so I expect a shootout today.
Coach Draben's been awesome in his time there, 94-47 overall, 40-39 in the Crossroads League. He was also a tremendous player at Belmont. He was an assistant at Lipscomb for a while, Stetson. He led the nation in free throw percentage in 2003 at 95.1%. He could get it done on the court. Now he's getting it done on the bench. The other side, Coach Corey Alford going with the same 5 starters. It'll be Drew Goodline, Lane Sparks, Landon Jordan, Jackson Paul, and Zach Goodline. Corey Alford in his 4th season, so is Zach Goodline. And he's got a chance to jump over some of the few HU greats here tonight if he scores into double digits. I mean, some guys we watched your grandpa coach a long time ago. Of course, the late, great Steve coached one of Alex Cook and also Gabe LaGrange, who Zach has a good chance to jump over tonight. Only at 6'1", he gets it done in a lot of different ways.
When your name's in the same conversation as Alex Cook and Huntington University, you know you've done some things right. You can score the basketball, and that's what Zach Goodline's been doing since he stepped foot onto campus.
Pretty sure that you got some of that touch from Cook from handing him the water bottle over and over again when your dad was a head coach here, and also Grandpa Steve as well, one of the greats in basketball history, not just in Indiana. The arena's named after him, and what do you have to say about the new look here inside Platte Arena, Connor?
I really like it. I got to be honest, the first few times I saw it, it's completely flipped 90 degrees to what I'm used to, but the lighting's better, the environment's better. It's an absolute upgrade, as it should be. It's just a great place to have a basketball game.
So you will see the starting lineups introduced. We've already introduced them. The women's team just won their matchup against Bethel. They swept the Pilots, and this is almost a revenge game here for Coach Corey Alford. He called it that. He said we owe them one, and we'll see if they can do that tonight. We already talked about it. This is 2 of the top 10 offenses as far as efficiency in the country. We can expect a lot of points, and I'm assuming that's exactly what we're going to get, and these fans will be excited for it. One more thing we want to add. The schedule all year long for HU has been brutal. I mean, even their preseason, pre-conference schedule, non-conference schedule, I should say, was really tough. Their opponents, 99 and 19 combined on the year, and that's not counting the second time around with IWU. So they've played a tough schedule. They need one of these wins. They're sitting at around 11 seed. This could be a resume-building win tonight against the Bethel Pilots, who come in 18th in the country in the new rankings.
A great opportunity for the Foresters, coming off of, like you mentioned earlier, a tough loss versus IWU, a game where they played really well. They just couldn't quite get over that hump at the end. A great chance for them to play another top 4 team in the conference and get a win at home. Another
good crowd and big implications for these 2 teams tonight. The Foresters trying to get even with the Pilots. It's Preston Husband, Connor Platt, and both teams ready to go. Foresters in their home white, Pilots in their road black. The tip is up between Phillips and Jordan, and HU will start with it. Jackson Paul revitalized his offensive game in the offseason, has been a big part of the Foresters' success. This guy also gets a lot of different looks defensively. Good line shown in an early double. Drew, 14 on the shot clock, landed. JP ended the game well on Saturday, tries to start it here. Aerts has a block.
Great defensive play there by Aerts. He's an athlete, he's long. Those are kind of the plays that he can make.
Gets it done on defense, now tries on offense, and he gets the roll over the top. And that's some of the issues for HU. They're not big. Their guards aren't necessarily huge, and Bethel's got a big advantage down low. Sparks thought about the quick pull up. Instead, Drew Goodline will control. Great defense here in the first early 2 possessions for the Bethel Pilots. Zach asking for a clear out. Throws it over Sparks, 10 on the shot clock. Lane rises, in and out. Phillips pulls it down.
That's a shot that you'll see Lane Sparks shoot a lot and make often, so you got to live with that on second possession here.
He's coming off 31 against Indiana Wesleyan, where he shot 26 times and made 50% of them. Offensive rebound, kind of an awkward shot there by the Pilots. Lutz, the catalyst, finds Phillips. Another size advantage. Preston, a transfer from Evansville, gets it over the top of Jordan. It's 4 early paint points for the Pilots. That's where they lived in the first matchup. Drew Goodline finds Lane Sparks, much bigger defender on him in Phillips. He'll have to start the offense over with Goodline. Drew off the screen, hesitates, gets to the lane, left hand, tough bucket from Goodline.
I like the early aggressiveness from Drew Goodline, guy who struggled last game against Iowa, shot 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. It's good to see him get going early on the offensive end.
He had a chance to win it in regulation the last time, did miss the shot, but Coach Corey Alford said he'd take it 10 out of 10, as Drew has really been someone to work on his game this past year. Aerts finds the middle, that's Edwards. Phillips open for a moment, had it tipped away, and Goodline punched it to Jordan.
Great hands by Drew Goodline. I like what the Foresters are doing defensively early with the ball screen with Lutz. It looks like they're going to double and trap and make him get rid of it and make somebody else beat him.
Jackson Paul against Lutz now. He'll drive into the lane, has to flip it out. Sparks from the corner. He goes up and under. That's the first 2 for Lane.
I'm going to attribute that basket to Lane's strength. He got bumped under the rim. Probably could have called a foul there, but was still strong enough to finish the reverse layup with that strong left hand.
Lane is a tough player as they double Lutz here. He has to pick it up. Anderson, who had a season high against the Foresters the first time. Aerts inside Edwards. Falls away from 5 feet, too strong. There's an offensive rebound for Anderson. He feeds it under, Sparks steals it away, and thankfully Anderson didn't go back up with that. HU gets the ball again. Sparks rises up for 3, he connects. It's an early 3-point lead for the Foresters.
That's 2 in a row for Sparks. He lives in that transition 3-pointer, especially from that wing. He's gotten going here early, which is a good sign for the Foresters.
The goal is to make everything tough on Drew Lutz tonight. HU doing a nice job with that so far. Anderson bumps with Jordan, can't score it. Landon pulls it down.
Great straight up hands defense there by Landon Jordan. In their last game against Bethel, he only played 16 minutes because he fouled out, so he needs to be smart early so he can stay on the court.
Sparks has the hot hand. He falls down here. It's a jump ball, and it's going to go to the Pilots. And Aerts did a nice job kind of pulling the chair out from under Lane there on that defensive possession.
Going back to James Anderson, when I was at Huntington and played, he was at St. Francis, and his body, he, like you mentioned earlier, he looks completely different. He's, like you said, he's lost 80 pounds. He looks great. It's good to see him moving, playing well. He's a big guy, but cheers to him for getting his body in basketball shape again. Yeah,
20 games, 20 starts. Great rebounder. As mentioned, had his best game of the year against these Foresters last time. Lutz hasn't shot it yet. He will from the parking lot this time. That misses badly. Jackson Paul pulled it down. And now you're going to see the best defender on this Bethel roster, Jameer Jefferson, in to guard Goodline. Zach shakes him. Drew launches from deep. That one doesn't get over the front of the rim. Anderson pulls down his second rebound. Aerts pushing the pace. Knocked Paul over. No call. Lutz will launch again. Misses it again. There's Anderson for the O board. Goodline pulls it away. Huntington's got numbers. Sparks rises up. He's got a quick 7, and it's 9-4 HU.
Great hands on the defensive end. I think that's already 3 steals for the Forester, leading to an easy layup.
Looks like a block's going to be called on the backside for McGuire. The shot won't count, so that's the good news. But, man, we knew this game would have some pace, and we're getting treated to that early, Connor.
In that last defensive possession, it seems to me like they could have called a charge. Jackson Paul slid over after that ball screen. Appeared to be there on time, but didn't get the call. I love the way that Jackson Paul, what he brings to the defensive end. I think he's going to be an X factor for him today on both ends, but he gets after it defensively.
He's 6'1", guarding Anderson right now at 6'8". And he had the job of guarding Javen Buchanan on Saturday. Lutz is 0 for 2, make it 0 for 3, and that loose ball falls to Goodline. Zach pushes the pace, now slams on the brakes. Jackson against Jefferson, up and under, finds McGuire. He missed it, and the rebound falls to Phillips. Clay Hilliard, we saw him light it up here last year for Mount Vernon, and an early whistle on the possession. That'll take us to our first media timeout. 9-4, the Foresters off to a hot start when we come back on FDN Sports.
Special thanks to the local students and teams that have joined us for FCA night here at HU. Special shout out to former HU standout Daniel Wool and the many players that he's brought with him from Columbus City High School. If you have not signed up for drawings at halftime, please go ahead and do that now.
Heard about it from my dad. He saw that they're having an animation camp. I told him that I want to go.
So my photography made me interested in working with cameras, and that's what I want to do.
It was a camp that had so much to offer, like everything I was interested in, it was being taught here and stuff.
The knowledge of animation, how it works, and getting better at it so I can pursue my future career.
And I've always just kind of been interested in this for so long, it was like I couldn't really pass it up. And I have learned those things, like professional things, things that I would not be able to do at home.
Some of my favorite experiences were just getting out and talking to people with similar interests, people who are passionate with the same thing that you're passionate with.
We're back inside Platt Arena. It's Preston Husband and Connor Platt sitting next to me here tonight. I watched you play a lot of games in here. Now you get to work alongside me. It's a 9-4 advantage. And Connor, you love what the Foresters are doing against Lutz right now on defense.
I do. He's taking 2 26-foot threes and a double move, spin in the lane, fall away, 8-footer. Make him take tough shots all night long.
Aerts has it against Goodline. Foresters have a tip. Anderson gets the loose ball. Hilliard, who can light it up, knocks down his first 3 of the night.
There's one guy in the gym that you don't want to lose. It's Clay Hilliard. He's shooting only 36%. I don't think that's a good representation of what he can do from 3 on the year. He's averaging just under 11 points, but most of his shots come from 3. You got to run him off the line.
He shot it 101 times on the year. That's his 76th 3. So he only shoots 3s for the most part. McGuire catches. Goodline first three of the night. That's a good way to start it for Zach.
Great extra pass there by McGuire. He had a layup. Wouldn't have mind seeing him take it, but hey, open three's worth more than two.
And how many times do you see Zach Goodline take just a catch and shoot three as Lutz misses again? Jefferson gets the rebound. Goodline bumped Anderson, and they're going to call that a shooting foul. And you can already see the offensive rebounds are once again hurting the Foresters on the defensive end.
With this lineup in right now, you got, your tallest player is McGuire standing at maybe 6'4", 6'5", and you got James Anderson, Ertz. You got some big guys on the other end. You got to find bodies and gang rebound.
Anderson with the high arcer gets it to go. He's had a nice year, as we mentioned, offensively, but this is not his strength, only 52% from the charity stripe. But knocks in his first. He'll have a chance for one more. Lutz will take a seat. And joining the Pilots on the floor is Luke McBride out of Norwell, two-time All-State there, starting to find his role a little bit as just a freshman.
Another guy who's going to take most of his shots from the three-point lines. Got to run him off. He's shooting over 40% from three on the season.
Sparks has the early 7. Cade Brenner, another freshman, starting to find his feet a little bit in for the Foresters. Zach gets it out to Gage. Gage doesn't shoot it a lot, takes it into the lane. Patient, scores it.
Patient is a great word to describe Gage McGuire. Every time he catches the ball, he's going to play at his own pace. He's going to take a good shot or make the right play. He's a very smart player.
He's a graduate transfer, so he's been around the game for a little bit, and you can tell by his poise. Hilliard looking for number 2. That missed everything. And Anderson tried going over the top of McGuire, and the Foresters kind of shutting out the three-point shot a little bit right now for Bethel, and that's a huge weapon for them.
High-scoring team, you got to know that they're going to shoot a lot of threes, which means, like we talked about earlier, a lot of long rebounds. McGuire put a nice body on James Anderson. We didn't allow him to get the offensive rebound, and they're going to get another possession out of it.
Jameer Jefferson takes a seat. Back in for the Pilots is Trent Edwards. He's been starting a lot recently. He's guarding the ball. Zach Goodline with his early 3. HU trying to add on. Goodline, his signature move. That one misses. There's Brenner with the O-board, and he's fouled on his way down, and that is exactly what Cade Brenner adds. He's 6'3", he leaps, and most importantly, he works hard on the board.
Absolutely, and he can shoot it too. It's nice to see. It's not points, but it's nice to see some bench contribution here early on against IWU. The bench had 0 points, 7 fouls. So it's good to see some positive things come off that bench for the Foresters.
I think if you wear number 3 for the Foresters, you got to be able to shoot it a little bit. Good line, tough step back again. This one's in and out. Almost kept alive. Brenner again with the loose ball. Jackson Paul finds Sparks. 15-footer, in and out. Jordan fights again, and the possession staying with the Foresters.
I love the effort. Cade Brenner coming in, making a difference immediately, getting on the floor, winning his team another possession.
And Coach Alford didn't say that his team didn't play hard at all on Saturday. They just outmanned. That's kind of, they played against their identity. IWU gets a lot of offense rebounds. Huntington turns them over a lot. But right now, Huntington's playing hard and getting a lot of opportunities. Brenner misses again. Jackson Paul couldn't knock that one away. Hilliard pushes it forward. Edwards into the lane, will slam on the brakes. Now Ertz gets inside. Brenner with the active hands again. He's all over the place.
I do want to credit Bethel on the defensive end. They've given up 14 points in 7.5 minutes, but they're making Goodline take some really tough shots. He's taking a couple step backs. So you got to credit their defensive end. 2 teams known for the offense, maybe, are getting it done on the defensive end right now.
Sure are, and that might be the difference in this basketball game. You see the Columbia City Eagles sitting there. Daniel Wohl, one of their assistant coaches, played 2 years with you here at Huntington, is that right?
2 years, yeah. No, 1. He was a senior my freshman year. One of my all-time favorite teammates, just an all-around awesome dude.
Jackson Paul goes coast to coast, loses the handle, falls away, scores it anyways.
There's my X factor for the game, Jackson Paul. I love seeing him get started scoring early.
And a quick timeout for Coach Draven. Sorry, Connor, cutting you off there. Draven needs a timeout as his team right now, as efficient as they have been, cannot get it going in these first 8 minutes, only 9 points.
They're really struggling on the offensive end. It seems like there's a lid on the basket for them down there. But, again, got to credit the Foresters defense. They're getting after it early. They're getting hands on a lot of balls. They're disrupting the flow, which can make it hard to score at times.
And it starts with turnovers. You know, Coach Alford will be the first to admit his team's not the best defensive team in the world. They've given up a lot of points. but they turn their opponents over like crazy.
Yep.
4 already here. They don't turn it over at all. So eventually you feel like that trend's going to switch a little bit. A team's not going to hit every shot against you. 3 for 10 start for Bethel, and that's a credit to the hard work they put in yesterday at practice and coming into the first few minutes tonight.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, this gymnasium, even though it's flipped 90 degrees now, has always been a shooter's gym.
Yeah.
If you got, the background from each hoop is close to the backboard. You don't have a lot of depth when you're looking at the rim. Teams just seem to shoot it really well in here.
I think Ty watched me knock down quite a few threes in warm-ups a couple of times, but I don't know if he'd admit it. Edwards off the dribble against Brenner. He gets there. Jordan recovers.
That's what Jordan gives to the team. You, as a guard, you can get up and pressure knowing that you have a backline elite shot blocker and athlete back there that's going to, pick you up if you get beat off the dribble.
Jordan will guard the ball as we see him do all year long. This is one of the toughest places to inbound the ball with Jordan using his length. They get it in easily here. Ertz goes right to the rim, and what a great move past Sparks.
Yeah, great finish by Nathan Ertz there. That left hand just took Sparks right off the dribble, straight line drive, and tough finish.
16-11, HU. Good line, thought about a step back. Jordan will recover and throw it over to Joel Dyer, who's freshly into the game. He can provide a spark, loses it here. Zach Goodline keeps it in the front court, just 9 on the shot clock. Zach, so good in these situations. Finds an open Joel, see if he can hit. That one's short, follows his shot, keeps it in and finds Zach Goodline. Zach to the rim this time, bumped on his way there and still scores it.
That's really, really good defense by number 21, Trent Edwards, but just better offense. Sometimes that just beats you.
McBride thought about a 3, now he goes in, drops it off to Phillips. Jordan tries to stay straight up, stripped it the first time. Preston, offensive foul, and Jordan is doing an excellent job holding his ground inside tonight.
Preston Phillips got frustrated right there. The Huntington guards are constantly getting their hands on that ball. Anytime he brings it down below shoulder level, there's going to be hands in there swiping at it.
No question about it. Phillips goes off arm. Jordan was pretty pumped up as well. 2 23s battling inside, and Phillips got the best of this Forrester side the first time around. Right now, they're keeping him pretty locked down inside, and like you said, those guards being awfully pesky inside on defense. Foresters have a chance to extend this lead, already up 7, 18-11. Sparks has had the hot hand. He launches again, he's fouled, and he's got the 3.
If you don't watch this Huntington Foresters team often, you're going to say that's a bad shot. But for a guy like Lane Sparks, I'm not sure a bad shot exists. He takes tough shots, but he makes tough shots, and there's another prime example of that.
We're talking about Zach passing some of the greats. Lane Sparks is on his way. I mean, he's got 10 here tonight. He came into tonight at 14:07, make it 14:17 now. He's 29th all time, and he's going to be right on Zach Goodline's heels at the end of his career as well.
No doubt he'll be a 2,000-point scorer here for the Foresters. He's been scoring it at a high level as a freshman, and now he's a junior, and he's averaging 25 over his last 4 games. He's getting it done on the offensive end.
22-11, HU doubling up the Pilots right now. Now Dyer's got the responsibility on Lutz. It's a foul on the way to the basket, so it'll be a side out. And you can even tell, even on these fouls, the coaching staff is pleased with the intensity and the effort on both sides of the basketball. Just the team's 4th, it's Dyer's first, both teams with 4 fouls. It's been a physical game though, kind of 2 teams that I wouldn't say don't love physicality, but that's not really their style. Ertz against Brenner off the side of the backboard. Jordan's got another rebound. Huntington can start to pull away here in this first half. Jackson Paul working with his high school teammate Jordan, throws it to Drew Goodline. Jab step, drive, finds an open shooter, Dyer. That one's no good. Rebound down to Ertz.
Take that shot 10 possessions out of 10. That's Joel Dyer, 3-point specialist, a great shooter, just missed it long. He'll get another look.
Ertz hands off to Edwards, being defended by Goodline inside. Edwards forced to take another tough shot. Jordan clears. Dyer pushes the pace. He goes to the rim this time, and it looks like he's going to be called for a travel on his way there. And maybe just pushing it a little too quick ahead there by Joel Dyer. That takes us to our next media. Huntington right now playing well in their home gym, 22-11 when we come back on FDN Sports.
At nursing camp, we learned a lot and had a lot of fun at the same time.
I've always wanted to be a nurse since I was a kid because my mom and grandma were nurses.
So I felt really behind and scared to be majoring in nursing. The professors really make sure that you feel welcome and that you are really understanding what you're getting into if you do join. My favorite part, I think, was going to like the research center. We got to practice like CPR.
I thought I would come here and not know, talk to anybody. But first day, it was like, oh, I already had a whole group of friends.
I would describe nursing camp as super fun, but also super educational. Like they took the education process and made it fun. Everybody's gonna make you feel welcome, and you're really gonna have a good time.
In Platt Arena, and while we have a moment, want to give a shout out to Joe Yock. He did the last game with me, but his better half, Dina Yock, watching at home, Jared's mom and dad, tuning in from Lynchburg, Virginia. So they always have a good time when they're here and tuning in to see if the Foresters can get a big ranked win here tonight. It'd be their first of the year. Lutz works against Jackson Paul. Another tough shot, another miss. Jameer Jefferson grabs the miss, and he doesn't score it a lot. That's his first two.
Good defense. Just got to finish the possession with a rebound.
Good line. Brings it across against Jefferson. He's their best perimeter defender. Heating up the ball now. Zach gets to the rim anyways and scores it. Just enough spin.
Great individual play by Zach. No passes on that possession. Just broke down his defender and got an easy layup.
You can be a good perimeter defender, but if you want to get in the shorts of Zach Goodline, you've got to take the risk of being stopped. Lutz still can't connect. Has missed his first 6 shots. Jackson Paul has another rebound. Jackson against Jefferson. Slows it down. Finds Zach Goodline. Hilliard now has the task. Zach loses it. He'll fall away. He'll score anyways.
Tough shot. That's 2 in a row. I fully expect him to come down and shoot it again next possession.
Yeah, he's hot. I mean, it's him and Sparks. You trust them anytime they shoot it. McBride has to find Lutz. Didn't shoot it this time. Now he's doubled and a foul called. And if that's Goodline, that's his second. And we'll wait and see. It will be on Zach Goodline. That's 2 fouls, and we'll see if Coach Alford pulls the trigger. He trusts Zach to still play good defense and not foul, and he's going to do that again.
As a senior with a guy with a lot of experience, I think he's more than fine playing a few minutes at least in this first half still before you take him out. Because you definitely don't want him to get his third, but he, like you said, he's a very smart player.
Anderson and Phillips back in there. Phillips is playing with 2 as well, so keep an eye on that. Lutz 0 for 6 so far. Hilliard's made 1 3. Goes to the rim this time, can't score it. Fighting for the rebound, Sparks. Lane likes to pull up in transition. He'll go to the rim. He's bumped, and a late whistle will lead to 2 free throws. No, they're gonna call this on the floor, and probably the right call, but why not the early whistle?
Agreed. Probably the right call. If it was the NBA, he'd definitely be shooting 2, but a little different level here.
Looked like it could have been shooting. Instead, HU will hold on. Sparks might shoot it anyways. Zach has the last 2 buckets. Working against Jefferson again. Jameer trying to lock up Zach. Goodline holds the foot down. There's another basket. 6 straight for Zach.
Really good defense by Jefferson. You got to credit him. He's pressuring him at 20 feet, but Zach just great offensive possession.
Lutz 0 for 7. McGuire another rebound, and now a foul on Jefferson. They're going to come review it. Goodline and Jefferson going at it, and Zach will never back down. And while we review this, we're going to take it to a break, and we'll have a review to make sure nothing flagrant was going on with Jefferson. We'll be right back on FDN Sports.
these years, you're still the same pathetic trash.
Glenn, is that you?
Hey, Harold.
Welcome back, Glenn.
You ain't taking me in, are you? 'Cause I can drive.
20 years. You just left. You didn't call. I thought you were dead.
What's going on that field over there?
Yeah, we're building a church and a school.
We've sold 3 churches and raised 50% of the budget.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
I'm not about to waste any hard-earned money on some pastor pipe dream that can't even get a line of credit.
Did you get the call from Lloyd?
Lloyd had a heart attack. We have to find a new carpenter by the end of the day.
Could you use me? Your brother says you're a singer.
Your breath smells like gasoline.
Having a drunk build this
He's not
church?
a drunk. He's a broken man, just like you and me.
Why can't I just learn the guitar?
You know how we feel about rock music.
Why you here?
I reckon I could ask you the same thing.
What if somebody did something they weren't supposed to do and you knew about it?
What Glenn needs is a doctor, not a church with no money and a charlatan for a pastor.
Dad!
The best friend I ever had. I love you.
If the Israelites can knock down the walls of Jericho with a prostitute and a marching band, surely Glenn can help us build this church. Remember, ask.
And it shall be given to you.
Seek.
And ye shall find.
Knock.
And the door shall open.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Let's roll.
And action.
I'm the script supervisor. I'm first AC for camera A.
Second AD.
Best boy electric.
Focus puller.
I'm about to run this right here and man the camera.
Speed. Thank you, bye-bye. We've got over 25 students that have worked really hard all semester preparing for this month-long experience.
Oh yeah, the standards have definitely been raised. You ready for me or no? Normally we do films in 3 days. We do a lot of student films. And this has been like 4 weeks plus an entire semester of prep. This is just insanely different.
The respect that I have for anybody doing group work on a feature film is through the roof.
On set this week, we have Stephen Baldwin.
Let's leave him to do the miracles and me to handle the business. On the technical side, it was better than anything I've ever experienced before. Kudos to Huntington University. I'm afraid our conversation ends right here.
We also have casted Bethany Lind. She's on Ozarks and a DC series right now.
You just left. You didn't call. I thought you were dead.
We're going to show you the play that the officials are discussing right now. It's 28-13. Here's the replay. They're looking at Jefferson, number 2, and Zach Goodline, 55. So Lutz shoots it, as you can see, and then Goodline gives him a little shove, but then it's after the play. Jefferson kind of has a hold of Goodline and launches the elbow, but they're going to stick with a common foul, and I think that's fine. It's a conference game. Let them play a little bit. But we've also seen it on the other side where they call a flagrant. So either way, officials do a nice job getting us back into play. It's a common foul on Jefferson. That's his first. Bethel 6, so Foresters with one more foul against the Pilots get into the bonus. I mean, we know the Crossroads League is a little chippy. Good line, trying to get involved. That one's missed. Jackson Paul almost had the O board. It was tipped away by Anderson.
Another open shot, though. Can't complain on the offensive end.
Jefferson off the dribble to Hilliard. McGuire fighting with Anderson inside. Left side now, Edwards, cut off by McGuire. Nowhere to go with it for the moment. Edwards finds a cutting Hilliard. 5-footer, that's good. He's up to 5.
It's a smart cut by Hilliard. Found the open space, got himself an easy shot, and as well as he shoots it, that's probably going to go in at least 9 out of 10 times.
We already told you he lit it up here the last time Connor was on the mic. We saw him shooting it from everywhere. Sparks against the zone, turns and scores.
Against a 2-3 zone, you got to get the ball into the middle, and when you have a playmaker like Lane Sparks in the middle, I would be surprised if Bethel sticks with that zone.
28-15. Up goes Edwards. Tough shot again. Anderson O board, and now he scores it on the second time. Forrester's quickly ahead to Jackson Paul. Huntington's defense has been excellent, still getting beat up a little bit on the O boards. Jackson Paul, he'll try a step back. That one's way too strong. Phillips pulls it down.
I don't love that shot that early in the possession from a guy who's struggling from the three-point line. And Jackson Paul, I'd love to see him attack the rim or make a play for somebody else. But he was open, I guess.
And it's kind of like you said, he's the X factor, but something that goes further than that. When Jackson's making threes, that's even better for the offense because he doesn't do it a ton. He is somewhat high percentage, not as of late, around 43%, but still not maybe the smartest shot. Brenner's back in, showing that size against Hilliard. He got him up in the air, missed the shot, but Anderson again tipped it in.
James Anderson has been relentless on the offensive boards. He's a big body. Somebody's got to hit him.
Sparks having a great first half. Throws it in the corner. Brenner finds Goodline. Jordan will come set a screen. Landon rolls. Sparks has it. Thought about the three. Now goes to the rim. Left hand. And a blocking foul on James Anderson is going to send Sparks back to the free throw line.
I like what I see. If you're a Bethel fan, you should like what you see. They're like Huntington's doing to Lutz on the other end. They're trapping Zach Goodline on that ball screen. Everybody in the conference knows he's deadly off a ball screen, especially if you switch. So trapping him, making him get rid of the ball, I think is a smart play.
Sparks drops it in. He's up to 14, and I meant to mention this earlier, but then we got into the replay. Zach Goodline has passed Alex Cook now. He's up to, let's see here, 2,187 career points, and he is now 5 away from passing Gabe LaGrange. So he continues to climb in the history books and now is officially a top 5 scorer in program history.
Congrats to Zach. That's no small feat. Like I said, passing Alex Cook is fantastic, but I would say that's not the best person he's passed in his career. As a high schooler, he is the all-time leader in Michigan State high school basketball scoring as he passed Magic Johnson.
Yeah, why does that name sound familiar? It's caught inside, and yeah, and even Magic Johnson left him a little video message afterwards. And Alex Cook was pretty good, though. I mean, you watched him play for a while, and those teams were amazing. He just passed Kyle Ganton in the last game. Those two played together. It's like, how is that even fair for the rest of the Crossroads League back in that era? Lutz still hasn't made a shot, finds Edwards. Good defense again by Jordan. Hilliard gonna have to force one. He'll do that, he'll score it again. And he's kind of that guy that can come in, he's just a flamethrower.
Yep, he's gonna shoot it. He's gonna shoot it often, and he shoots it really, really well. So don't want to let him get going too soon. He's hit 3 already. I expect him to continue to shoot it a lot moving forward.
Sparks wraps around the screen. Sparks hits again, and he's on pace for 40 right now.
17 for Sparks. It comes so easy to him. It's truly fun to watch.
Hilliard misses. McGuire slows it down as he often does. Zach Goodline pulls up. That's Drew, excuse me, missed it. Sparks was open in the corner, but still Drew trying to find a shot. Lutz being hounded again, throws it to Hilliard. Clay, step back this time, no good. Jordan clears. Tough shot from Hilliard, and it's another miss for Bethel. Zach off the dribble, drops the defender to the left hand, and he's going to head to the charity stripe for 2 more free throws.
You know, as you mentioned earlier, Zach Goodline only stands at 6'1", but he is remarkable around the rim. The ways that he can finish, the way he draws contact is elite for somebody that only stands 6'1".
So that's Aert's third, and it'll be our third and last media timeout of the half. It's 34-21, 2 Zach Goodline free throws coming after the break.
All these years, you're still the same pathetic trash.
Glenn, is that you?
Hey, Harold.
Welcome back, Glenn.
You ain't taking me in, are you? 'Cause I can drive.
20 years. You just left. You didn't call. I thought you were dead.
What's going on that field over there?
Yeah, we're building a church and a school.
We've sold 3 churches and raised 50% of the budget.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
I'm not about to waste any hard-earned money on some pastor pipe dream that can't even get a line of credit.
Did you get the call from Lloyd?
Lloyd had a heart attack. We have to find a new carpenter by the end of the day.
Could you use me? Your brother says you're a singer.
Your breath smells like gasoline.
Having a drunk build this church? He's not a drunk. He's a broken man, just like you and me.
Why can't I just learn the guitar?
You know how we feel about rock music.
Why are you here? I reckon I could ask you the same thing.
What if somebody did something they weren't supposed to do and you knew about it?
What Glenn needs is a doctor, not a church with no money and a charlatan for a pastor.
Dad!
The best friend I ever had. I love you.
If the Israelites can knock down the walls of Jericho like a prostitute and a marching band, surely Glenn can help us build this church. Remember, ask.
And it shall be given to you.
Seek.
In Platt Arena, Zach Goodline knocks down another free throw. And the story right now, Connor, is Bethel cannot shut down the two guards for Huntington, but they're shutting out, the Foresters shutting out Drew Lutz.
Yeah, 0 of 7 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. He's taken a lot of tough shots, hasn't scored yet. And again, we're talking about a guy who's averaging just under 26 points a game. The Foresters are doing a great job making him take tough shots.
And I talked to Coach Alford yesterday during practice. He said, our goal is to make everything tough on Lutz. We're not going to shut him out. We just want to make it tough. And right now, they're shutting him out. Anderson gets another O board. It's going to stay with Bethel. And it's probably going to change at some point. Lutz maybe needs to see one free throw go in, one layup go in. He can put 20 up in a half. And if you're HU, while he's cold, you want to keep adding on to this 15-point lead.
Absolutely. It does not take much for somebody who's scoring at that high of a level. If he sees one go in, that basket's going to expand by double, and it's going to continue from there.
Lutz shut down by Drew Goodline. Lutz inside. This time he finds Anderson, and he can also do that. He gets his teammates involved really well.
As I mentioned earlier, averaging 4.1 assists per game, 6th best in the conference. He's a playmaker, and plays like that can get a guy going scoring as well.
Sparks, same play to the free throw line, has to slow down to McGuire. Jefferson chasing him around. Gage had it tipped away by Phillips, and then it's kept in.
Great effort by Phillips.
Jefferson goes to the rim. He scores it on McGuire, and that's what Jefferson does right there, gets to the rim. Back the other way, Sparks quick to shoot it. A missed shot, Jefferson pulls it down. Here's Bethel's run. That one's tipped away. Anderson fights for it, keeps it in bounds. Jefferson throws it up. Phillips offensive rebound, and now a foul on the Foresters on the backside. And looked like a YMCA game there for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, a little hectic on both ends. I'd love to see both teams slow it down, work on getting a good shot, because right now they're just running and turning it over and taking bad shots. It's just back and forth.
You're never going to tell Lane Sparks to not shoot it, but maybe a higher percentage shot there. I know everything seems high percentage for Lane, and throughout his career it's been that way, but in that situation, Lane is so good at getting to the rim. Maybe take it there and score it, get fouled again. I mean, the Foresters are in the bonus for the last 3 minutes here. Phillips won't shoot many threes, Jefferson either. Lutz against Landon Jordan. Interesting matchup there. Drew cut off again. He bounces it out to Jefferson. Inside Anderson, he's got the size on Brenner. Spins towards the basket. Throws it to a wide open McBride, and the freshman connects. That's a big shot for Bethel.
Yeah, and a great look from James Anderson. He got doubled, found a way to spin baseline, and found an open shooter who knocks it down in Luke McBride.
McBride from just down the road. Played in the NE8 at Norwell. 62% of his shots on the year from three. We already said he's All-State twice. He didn't score in the first matchup, but has had as many as 21. He's another guy like Hilliard. He comes in, you leave him open, there's a good chance it's going in.
Yep. Bethel on a quiet 7-0 run, currently down 15. Now they're only down 8. We'll see what Foresters can respond with here on offense.
Jackson Paul gives it to Zach Goodline. Foresters up 8. Zach has had a great first half. Steps through, can't get to the rim, and then it's knocked out of bounds by Drew Lutz. Huntington will have it with 11 on the shot clock.
Again, got to credit Bethel on the defensive end. James Anderson staying down, staying big, along with Jefferson making it hard on Goodline.
Foresters get it in. Goodline launches. It's another missed three, and Jameer Jefferson pulls it down. So Bethel can really get right back into this ball game with a few more scores before the break. McBride had the last three. They're looking to get it to Phillips. Big advantage. McBride is open again. Misses this one short. It goes off the shot clock, and the Foresters maybe just dodged the bullet there.
The Foresters get lucky there. If I'm Corey Alford, I don't know if I'm going to double off of 24 or off of Lutz. I'm going to double off Jefferson, make a non-shooter have to beat you.
You know, Jefferson's only made a couple of threes this year. How about 3 of them? He made 8 threes this year, excuse me. He made 2 against Huntington the first matchup. So playing the numbers doesn't always work, but you'll take it most of the time. Sparks stops on a dime, double clutch. Jordan fights for the rebound. It falls to McBride. Lutz pushes it forward. A steal by Brenner. Cade will go to the rim. Left-hand finish, and there's some bench points for the Foresters.
I love it. Cade Brenner has made an impact since he's been in. He plays really, really hard. He got himself an easy one there.
Lutz misses again. He's still yet to start his scoring. McBride's open. His second three, still not there. Another offensive rebound. Jordan blocks it. Brenner's got another rebound. Sparks this time, the lefty, scores it over the top of McBride, and the Foresters are back up 12.
Great defensive play by Landon Jordan, blocking the shot, and leads to Lane Sparks, a tough basket. He doesn't make it look tough, but that, I promise you, that is a tough finish.
Less than 1 minute left. The fans are getting into it. Defense has been excellent for HU in this first half. Trying to take a double-digit lead. Lutz splits the defense. He's fouled on his way, and he shoots a ton of free throws, but you've held him scoreless for the first 19:30 of this game. Now one of the best free throw shooters in the country has a chance to open his tab.
I don't mind that foul there by the Foresters. Honestly, he was going to shoot an easy layup. If not, at least make him go to the line and earn them. I mean, we're talking about a guy who shoots 88% from the free throw line, but still make him earn them at the line.
Lutz arcs that one in. That's his first point of the night. Honestly, Bethel is fortunate to be this close at the moment. They've got 10 offensive rebounds. That's the difference right now. If you limit them to 3-4 offensive rebounds, this might not even be a basketball game anymore. Lutz has his first 2. Huntington still up 10. They cannot hold for the last shot, but they can take it pretty close to the halftime break. 38.6 on the clock and 30 on the shot clock. Andrew Hedrick in for the first time. The Columbia City players here. And Coach Daniel Wohl, give him a nice applause. And Coach Corey Alford going to burn one of those timeouts to draw up a final play here before the halftime break. And if you're Coach Alford right now, you got to think about going to your 2 main scorers, Zach Goodline, Lane Sparks, Connor.
Absolutely. I also wouldn't mind seeing Landon Jordan get involved on the offensive end. I haven't seen him touch it many times, and when he does, he's standing at the top of the key. He has some good post moves. He's a guy who, you know, if Lane Sparks and Zach Goodline are going to get blanketed, throwing it in to the big fella, letting him make a play on the offensive end, I'd love to see him get more involved.
And you know he's efficient. I mean, most of his shots are layups or dunks. He's shot it 0 times in the first half. He's got 5 rebounds, a couple of blocks, but Joe and I were even talking about that on Saturday. He is skilled. People think he just jumps, he just dunks, he catches lobs. No, this dude can put it on the floor, and he can stick you in the rim, too, when you get there.
And as you mentioned, he is efficient. He shoots 66% from the field.
That's lower than last year.
And last year, he set a record. He's second highest percentage in HU history. I believe it's 71% from the field, which is ridiculous.
7-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Make it 8, I suppose. Lutz guarding Goodline. These two go way back, playing a little AAU ball together. Foresters are in the bonus. See if Goodline can get it going right before the half. Zach, 2 defenders, falls away, scores it anyways.
That's really, really tough. A great shot by Zach.
Anderson against Sparks. Goes inside, finds Hedrick. Anderson catches, and I'm not sure he got it off. They're going to count it, but they will come and look. It looked like Anderson was out of bounds and then touched that basketball. And before we send it to the halftime break, they're going to come and check that basket really quick. So we're going to send it to a short break. We'll come back with the answer after halftime.
Current scores from around the Crossroads League.
That is a picture wrap. Woo! We just made our movie.
At nursing camp, we learned a lot and had a lot of fun at the same time.
I've always wanted to be a nurse since I was a kid because my mom and grandma were nurses.
So I felt really behind and scared to be majoring in nursing. The professors really make sure that you feel welcome and that you are really understanding what you're getting into if you do join. My favorite part, I think, was going to like the research center. We got to practice like CPR.
I thought I would come here and not know, talk to anybody. But first day, it was like, oh, I already had a whole group of friends.
I would describe nursing camp as super fun, but also super educational. Like they took the education process and made it fun.
Everybody's gonna make you feel welcome, and you're really gonna have a good time.
Forester camps is making new friends.
A great way to explore different opportunities.
Great way to experience life here at Huntington University.
I looked into OTA and it looked like a lot what I wanted to do, but I still wasn't really sure what all it was.
But I did know that I did want to be in the medical field, but I don't really have a stomach for blood. This was a different way to be able to help people physically, but not have to open them up.
Since it's a smaller place, everyone knows each other. You know, they can invest time in each other.
This would be a great way to learn about it and see what it is.
So I saw how life-changing that can be, and it made me want to do that.
I'm Megan Hosteller. I'm the producer of the In the Beginning, Our Purpose event, and currently we are getting ready for Britt Nicole to come in and just have an intimate worship night here at HU with all of our students. We're currently getting ready for the camera team to come in, as well as the lighting and everything like that. Our whole team has just put in a lot of effort and time into this event, and we're just really excited to see how it pays off.
One of the big goals for this project is from our community. We want to bring people into this worship night to come in and have a really great experience, to be impacted. We want people to come in and worship God, and ultimately the goal is about finding our purpose. A lot of people are trying to figure out, hey, what's my purpose? Where am I supposed to be going? What am I supposed to be doing the next 5, 10 years? There's going to be a lot of change happening. So what am I supposed to be doing? So the goal of the event is to help people find that purpose through worshiping God, through asking the Holy Spirit to grant us wisdom in these moments, grant us wisdom this night as we sing praises to you, as we receive wisdom from you, as we receive your truth tonight, and ultimately come together in a corporate community to praise you together.
When I saw the name of this, actually the first time I saw it, I think was on Instagram, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. In the beginning, our purpose, this is truly why we were designed and created, was to worship God, you know? And so I love the name of it. I love that, you know, they had a heart and a vision to bring this to their school. And honestly, I've just been so excited, leading up this whole month. Just my spirit has felt really excited and stirred for what God is going to do tonight. What's cool about it is it doesn't feel like it's about one particular person. It just feels like, even the way it's set up, it just feels like this is about everyone and just coming together for one purpose.
Zach Goodline, senior at Huntington University. My 4th year here with Coach Alford. Transferred my freshman year from Oakland University to come play basketball here, and it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made, and I'm happy I made that decision.
11 left, 8 on the shot clock. Deep step back 3 from Goodline!
The Huntington University senior is one of 12 players in the country named NAIA First Team All-American.
My mom coached a little bit of basketball. She coached softball a lot, but I mean, I was always in the gym. Like after school, I'd have to go to practice because she would coach the varsity girls, or she was the assistant for the varsity girls team when I was small. So I had no choice. I had to go to the gym. And so when I'm at the gym for 2 hours after school, the only thing to do was grab a ball and play basketball. So I went to a small school in Southwest Michigan called Coloma. When it comes to high school basketball, I was playing with that. I was class of 2019. My best friends were class of 2018. So I was always used to playing up and playing with those guys. So in high school, I was playing with my high school team since elementary school. So the chemistry and the love we have for each other was just so clear, and that's why we were successful. Got the chance to go to Oakland, my Division I. It was cool to live that for a year. And it was really only like 8 months. But definitely, it was fun. And I wouldn't be the player I am today or the person I am today without having those 9 months at Oakland under my belt for sure. It was definitely like a whirlwind because I'm pulling up to Huntington, and like the first thing I see when I was in Detroit and like in the city and stuff like that, and then I pull up to Huntington and it's like cornfields, it's Indiana. So it was different. It was definitely different and all that stuff. And like especially my teammates, and like, man, I had the best teammates my first year at Huntington and all that stuff, but they looked and act different than my teammates I was used to my first year at Oakland. So it took some adjusting. It was all different. It was super different, but it was also super fun. Like I got to see like almost complete opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to like basketball. And then there's the relationship I have with my teammates, the relationship I have with Coach Alford and the coaching staff. I just felt like, man, I owe it to these guys to get one more year, one more go around to see what we can do. And with it being my last year, I'm gonna do anything I can to make sure. Shoot, we may lose every game from here on out, but I promise you it won't be because of lack of effort. It won't be because we're not locked in. It won't be because we're not ready to go. So, I mean, that's my mindset, and that's why I came back for a 5th year. This is the first year where, like, we're nationally ranked. I have expectations for myself. The country has expectations for myself. I came back for one reason and one reason only, to win a championship, but it's also being able to, at the end of my senior year, look up and we got a banner of some sort and we won a championship. That's what I want out of this year, and that would be the icing on the cake from my college experience.
To me, Forester Camps is definitely a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
Telling.
Something that everybody can find something that interests them.
A space to learn new things in a safe environment.
To me, Forester Camps is getting to be a home away from home, I guess. You learn a lot here and you learn it well.
I plan on being an author once I'm done with college, so this seemed like a really fun opportunity for me.
It was just glad to meet new people in general and just kind of enjoy the workshop and just take away what I can from it and make myself a better writer.
That whole thing about how to write for musicals, I never even thought of that before, but that was awesome.
To me, Forester Camps is amazing.
To me, Forester's Camps is cool.
To me, Forester Camps is a great experience. I've always had just like a genuine interest for art, and our art teacher was like passing out flyers and stuff.
And I saw that my other friends were going to do it, so I got interested in it as well.
And this is my first college trip, so I didn't really know kind of what it's like to be in college.
College really isn't as scary as I thought it would be. Definitely go. There is a lot of really cool activities and opportunities you can get here.
Try to get yourself involved. Try to talk to other people who are like at the camp as well. Talk to like your hosts and stuff.
I mean, there's no reason not to go. I mean, you get out of school, you could come here.
It's really informative on how college actually is, and that the community here is really great.
My name is Mark, and I love to play the drums. I started drumming in the 9th grade. That's when I actually had a drum set. I actually started playing in my mind when I was about 5 years old. My older brother was a drummer, and he was my idol. Now for me, fortunately, the church has been a place where I could play the drums, and so I always had an outlet, even every single week, where I could be playing the drums, and so I could kind of fit it into the rest of my life with getting married, having kids, having a job. I would say that being made in the image of God means that God as creator has wired creativity into all of us. And so for me, playing the drums is my avenue for how I can express that creative aspect of being made in the image of God. And I love to do it.
All right, we're back in Platt Arena. It's a 42-30 halftime lead for HU. The basket at the end of the half didn't count. And we'll try this again. The Foresters completely bottled up Drew Lutz in that first half, and that's a big reason why they're ahead by double digits right now.
Yeah, they're making him take a lot of tough shots. He's got 2 points on 0 of 8 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. And you're talking about a guy who's averaging 25.5 points. So to hold him to no made field goals and just 2 free throws, that's the difference in the game right now, in my opinion.
And you look throughout the season, Bethel averages nearly 88 points per game. They shoot 52%. Right now, they're at 30 points, and they are 33.3% from the field. On the other side, we knew it would be a great guard matchup, but Sparks and Goodline were unconscious in that first half.
Yeah, scoring comes so easy to both of them. And again, a lot of shots that look tough on TV aren't tough shots for those guys. They shoot it all the time. They combined for 34 points. And it's not like they're taking 15 shots apiece to get there. Sparks is 7 of 11 from the field, and Goodline is 6 of 9. So not only are they scoring it a lot, they're scoring it efficiently.
I mean, someone on probably the top 2 teams will win Conference Player of the Year, I would assume. But there's an argument that Zach Goodline and Lane Sparks are at least in the talks. I know the year didn't start how Coach Corey Alford wanted or really desired, but at this point, they're 2 of the best players in the country, and it's hard to find a backcourt that works together like those 2.
Absolutely, and just a couple weeks ago, I believe, Zach Goodline did make the top 100 Bevo Francis Award list, which is the National Player of the Year. So, and I thought Lane Sparks probably should have been on there too with what he's doing and with what HU's doing as a team, but going back to Player of the Year, Grace is obviously at the top of that conference. I think they just have a lot of guys that complement each other really well. They don't have one guy that's, they're all studs, they're all good, but at this time, honestly, if it's up to me, I think I'm giving it to Buchanan of IWU.
Yeah, he's a stud, and he just won Crossroads League Player of the Week in this building. He had 26 points, 15 rebounds. Kind of reminds me of Paulo Banchero a little bit, the way he moves, shoots that little fadeaway. Yeah. Didn't even attempt a 3 and had 26. Real quick, while we have a chance, Connor, a couple of our friends tune in. Andrew Yoder, Raj, who played here at HU with you and for your dad. Jamison Klein, his grandparents sitting right behind us. Dan Klein and Dwayne Klein, his dad and grandpa, both 1,000-point scorers. My father-in-law, Chris Woosley, as well, listening in Evansville. Alan McNear as well, tuning in, as he always does. And Landon Jordan dunks it right out of the halftime break. You wanted him to be more involved. There it is.
Yeah, I like to see that early on. Obviously, that's a high percentage shot. He's going to make almost all of those.
Jordan has also just been a menace on defense. Phillips works with Aerts, and now Anderson. Here comes the double, bounce pass backside. Drew Goodline grabbed the jersey of Edwards. That's his third, and that was obvious that Drew got a little bit of cloth in the right hand.
Yeah. Going back to Landon Jordan, though, like we said, he only played 16 minutes in their last matchup with Bethel. He's been really disciplined today, staying on his feet, hands up straight. I don't think he's fouled yet, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's got to stay on the floor for as many minutes as he can.
No fouls yet. He had 5 in 16 minutes in Mishawaka. Make it 6 because he actually had a technical to end his night. So he had 6 total fouls. Backdoor pass is kicked away. Jordan not just doing it with his hands, but his feet.
Believe it or not, I never got a technical foul in college.
That is absolutely shocking. I guarantee Andrew Yoder thinks you probably should have got one.
So does everybody else that sits in this in the stands, and probably the 3 guys in the stripes, but they were kind enough to not give me one.
Yeah, I mean, the arena is named after the grandpa. You at least can't get a T in this building. I mean, walking on holy ground. Goodline had a great first half. He's looking to pass Gabe LaGrange, and he has with that 3.
Moving him into 3rd all-time, is that correct? 4th all-time. Again, congrats, Zach. That's fantastic. He's a remarkable player.
Lutz throws it out to Edwards, still doing a good job on him, and they turn it over as Edwards tried to throw it to Lutz. Goodline will help him up. Forrester's got the ball, and so now you look at the guys above him. You've got David Porter, freak athlete.
Absolutely.
You've got Jeff Shepard, who made like 433s. The dude shot it from the parking lot.
Yep.
And then you've got Steve Platt, and I don't think anyone's going to be getting there anytime soon with 3,700 career points, but still great list to be on.
The only guy that I've seen in my time is Kyle Mangus from Indiana Wesleyan. That dude could fill it up, but still didn't catch my grandpa Steve.
So Jackson Paul just tried to throw that off the Bethel Pilots player, and I think this is going to be flipped around, and they're going to do just that. And, you know, Jackson Paul, watch this replay here. He's falling out of bounds, threw it off of Aerts, and that's just what Jackson Paul does. He's a coach's kid. Chris Paul is to have, great name, by the way. Awesome coach for a while at Purdue Fort Wayne. It was IPFW at the time. He coached Landon and Jackson. And he's just a coach's kid. He grinds, he dives on the floor, he's hard-nosed. Now he wants to get involved on offense and gets that one to go over the top.
It's amazing what a hustle play can do for you in terms of scoring. You make a nice play like that, it kind of amps you up, makes you feel good, allows you to go and make a tough fall-away shot from 15 feet.
That's kind of his shot, that little fall-away from 10 to 15 feet. Jefferson within the trees, throws it away. Goodline has it. Sparks has a chance to rock the rim, and he does just that.
Lane Sparks is only, what, 6'1", 6'2"? The dude dunks it with ease. It's truly remarkable.
It's all Foresters out of the halftime break, a 9-0 run. It's going to take us to a break. Coach Draben needs to regroup the troops when we come back on FDN Sports.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean, efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
A 21-point lead for the Foresters. HU shooting 57% from the field, only 4 turnovers, a 9-0 run right out of the halftime break to stick it up to, as I mentioned, a 21-point lead. Everything's working right now on both sides of the ball for HU.
As a coaching staff, you go into the halftime break, you want your guys to come out with a lot of energy. So if I'm Corey Alford and staff, I couldn't be more pleased with the way my team started the second half.
The Foresters have only beat the bottom 6 teams in the conference so far. They've been beat by Bethel, they've been beat by IWU twice, and everyone's been beat by Grace. So this would be a chance for them to tie things up at 3rd. Anderson catches, he missed the bunny, and then Jackson Paul ripped down the miss. Feels like everything's going HU's way. JP to Zach Goodline, able to keep his toes in bounds. Jordan goes off the dribble, no foul, and a late whistle will be called again. That's the second time that we've seen the whistle come really late. It's like the refs almost have to wait and see the whole play, which I understand. It's a fast couple of athletes going at it, maybe Jordan a little faster, but he knocks him over and the foul comes late.
Not in this instance, but a lot of times you see refs on a scoring play, they like to wait to see if the ball goes in the hoop, and to a certain degree, that's kind of what he did there, and he made the late call. I do think it's the right call, but nonetheless, it was late.
Lutz, triple team, gets up through the contact, and another whistle, and that's going to be on Goodline. That's his fourth, and Zach Goodline thought it maybe should have gone on someone else. Coach Alford just kind of looks at the official and turns around. Waiting to see that replay. I think we'll have one for you in just a moment, but Lutz has only scored at the free throw line. That's it, 2 points. Jordan also a little slow on the backside of the play. Both Goodline brothers chatting with the officials, seeing if flip the call for him. I doubt it.
The Goodline brothers going at speaking with the officials in the right way. You can't go screaming at them. I should probably told myself that a few years ago. But if you address them respectfully, they tend to talk to you. But when you go screaming at them, they aren't very receptive to that typically.
Goodline looked like he got the ball there. I mean, almost stripped it out. Lutz missed the free throw, and now he drops that one in. He's up to 3 points now, but all of them coming in dead ball scenarios, and he shot it 8 times from the field, still yet to hit. Sparks bumped by Jefferson, and there will be no argument there from Jameer as Sparks took a hard fall. That's the first on the guest here in the second half, 3 on HU, and you can see Jefferson just using that hip to kind of bump Sparks off his dribble.
Sparks took a hard fall there. It didn't seem like a play that would result in a hard fall, but landed hard on that left hip.
Kind of looks like he could play running back if he wanted to, and you know, we saw him play through a cramp against IWU as well. He's just kind of hard-nosed. He's never missed a game in his time at HU, and he gets hit a lot. Paul drives right, now goes to Cade Brenner. He had a great first half, turned it over there to Jefferson. Sparks trying to keep up with Jameer. Offensive foul, it looks like, no call. And once again, Corey Alford up in arms, and Jefferson gonna try to body up Sparks again, but keep in mind, Lane Sparks has given Bethel 21 with 16 minutes to go.
Sparks might have sold it a little bit there, but he's not easy to move, so Jefferson probably got away with one there, but can't complain about every call.
Foul on Aerts as Jackson Paul put his head down and got to the rim. And you know, you already talked about how good Jackson Paul is on defense. His offense has grown. He averaged 2 points per game last year, maybe a 6th, 7th option off the bench. Now he's right around double digits, and he's had some big games. And look at the last matchup against Bethel. He had one of his best games of the year, and he's doing it again tonight.
Yeah, like you mentioned, last year he could make a shot here or there, but from game 1 this season, you could see that Jackson Paul was working in the offseason on his offensive game. He's more aggressive, he's more confident, he's starting to shoot it pretty well, which adds a great element to complement Sparks and Goodline.
Yeah, he's kind of their third option, and it kind of switches around between him and Jordan, but tonight he's definitely filled in for that role. He's got 6 points now. Lutz being guarded by Jackson Paul, and it's another touch foul. And the fouls are starting to pile up a little bit here. That's 4 in the first 4 minutes. And Paul picks up his first, but you got to live with that. He's guarding an All-American and just trying to turn him over, and you could see he hit the arm.
Yep.
Lutz goes into Jackson Paul, maybe tried to sell that one. Lutz stopped by McGuire. Jefferson now gets to the rim, and he gets the roll over the top of Paul, and Jefferson's kind of been the third option for Bethel tonight.
Yeah, the defensive-minded Jefferson, nice drive to the rim there. I think he's capable on that offensive end. I just don't think he looks for his own shot enough.
This guy does. This time he passes it to Brenner. He launches a three, knocks it in.
A contested three. Why not, Cade Brenner? I like it. You're a shooter. If you get any look at the rim, you got to let it fly.
He won the state title at Northwood last year, made 94 threes, averaged 18 points per game. He's out there to shoot it. He's been doing it a little more. Jefferson trying to keep the hot hand. He's blocked and a foul called, and I wonder if this might go on Goodline on the lower body. And no, it's going to go on Lane Sparks. And I mentioned these fouls are starting to pile up. I mean, Bethel's getting close to the bonus with just 15 minutes left.
Jefferson only a 30% free throw shooter. Not a high volume, it's just 6 of 20 from the line.
Stays on par.
Misses the first.
30%, he's a guard. And that's confusing because the shot doesn't look bad, but it doesn't seem to fall. And he's just a freshman. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. He did transfer from Trinity International, but still a freshman on the roster. Misses both, gets his own rebound. Scuffle underneath. Lutz launches, still doesn't have a field goal. Knocked down by McGuire. Brenner has it. Loose ball. We're playing football, and Brenner picks up the fumble. And then a foul on Jefferson. I mean, we're watching everything tonight.
Got to applaud both teams, though, putting in effort, diving on the floor, fighting for that loose ball. Can't complain as a coaching staff on either side.
And you look at Jefferson, the point I was trying to make, he's just a freshman. He may pick up a shot, and if he doesn't, he's strong, he's fast, he can get to the rim and become a double-digit scorer maybe as soon as next year. It's kind of like Jackson Paul. Defender, doesn't shoot it well. And speaking of Jackson, he goes out of bounds there. It's a turnover. Foresters don't do a whole lot of that. That's number 7 on the night.
But like you said about Jefferson, the shot looks good. It has good form, has good rotation on the ball. It just hasn't fallen for him this year from the free throw line.
Interesting to watch his development at Bethel because he's definitely a great athlete and could really start to become a key piece for them. Lutz locked up by Sparks, lefty on lefty. 15 on the shot clock. Advantage Anderson, and he uses it, missed it. McGuire's whistled for a foul, and that's already number 6.5 on HU.
Not bad defense there by McGuire, just overmanned.
So we come back. Anderson will be shooting 2. McGuire got him on the arm. It's still a 21-point lead for the Foresters on FDN Sports after this break.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Welcome back into Platt Arena. While we got a chance here, I didn't want to embarrass you, but let's take a look at the career stats of Connor Platt, my color commentator. He's 11th all-time. Zach passed you this year. Sparks might pass you next year. I'm just saying.
Absolutely will pass me next year.
But 1,854 points. Played a lot of defense. I got that on my notes. He shot 42.7% from 3, 47.5% from the field, 84% for the charity stripe. And I put this on Facebook yesterday, 122 total games. I bet I was at 115 of them.
At least 115 of them.
Great player, great dude. We're glad to have you join tonight. Love the Platt family. Ty Platt, one of my favorite people in the world, mostly because he's a huge Reds fan. We like to talk about them, and free throws still not falling for Bethel. But seriously, the Platt family is well known in the Indiana basketball community. Of course, Steve was here. Ty was here, Kyle was here, Connor was here. Maybe Isaiah will be here one day.
Can't get away from this place, huh?
But it's good to have you tonight, Connor, and we really enjoy having you on the broadcast. And right now, the Foresters are on the happy side of the scoreboard as well.
I think the last time I was on the call with you, the Foresters got a win at home against Mount Vernon.
You're
up 20 here.
You're literally welcome back anytime. I mean, if we keep winning, just keep coming. Brenner, another three. That one's a little wide left. Jefferson pulls down a rebound. Also for a small guard, he does that well. Edwards, Hilliard, he can light it up. Missed it. McGuire fights for the rebound, pulls it out of there. Huntington running. He's got Sparks ahead. Lane lays it in with the right hand.
Great look from Jackson Paul in transition. Eyes up the whole time. Saw Lane Sparks. Threw a nice chest pass to him for an easy layup.
Had some heat on it. Hilliard just missed the three. Now goes with the fall away, and he's just got it all. I mean, we watched him at Mount Vernon do it for a while. Did you actually play against him as well?
I did. I think he was a freshman my senior year. I could be wrong. He might have been coming to be a freshman as I was leaving, but I remember watching him play quite often. Yeah, he can fill it up.
Yeah, he's from Plymouth. He goes to Bethel. That's a great pickup by Coach Draben's staff. Sparks to McGuire. Look at this patience from the veteran, and he gets a wide open shot for Jackson Paul.
And as we've talked about, McGuire takes one dribble, makes 4 pass fakes, and finds a wide open layup. He always plays at his own pace. He makes the right play. He never gets sped up.
Lutz still doesn't have a field goal, but guess who's there? It's Jameer Jefferson again. He's been their best player tonight, maybe.
Yeah, he's doing everything. He's guarding the Huntington's best players. He's rebounding. He's attacking the rim. He's getting involved in the offensive end. He's playing a great game.
Got 10.7 rebounds. He is 6'2". Good line. Through a couple defenders, couldn't get the roll, but he will head back to shoot some free throws. And it's really amazing because he comes into the game, that being Jefferson, averaging 2 points per game. He does rebound it well, about 4 a game, just doesn't shoot free throws well. I mean, everything else looks good.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, Connor, he will be a great player by the end of his time for Coach Draben at Bethel.
I agree. He's got the physical attributes. He's an athlete. He can guard. He's quick. And with one more basket, he'll have his season high tonight. His season high was 11 last game versus Goshen.
Yeah.
Another basket will put him at 12. But I agree. I think he's going to be a great player for 4 years if he hangs around.
Not just a season high either. It's a career high. So adding to his total, and that's what you want. In a game like this, you just want a young player like him as he subs out for another young player in Luke McBride. Just want him trending in the right direction. That's exactly what he's doing. Zach made both. It's a 22-point game, 62-40. All Foresters still. Lutz still has not made a field goal. Hilliard drives left, steps through, finds McBride, didn't shoot it. Now 24 on 24. Jackson Paul called for a little slap on the arm of McBride, and it looks like he's guilty based off the reaction.
He knew it right away. Still only 2 fouls on Jackson, so I appreciate the continued aggression. Just got to be easy with the hands.
Yeah, and it is free throws the rest of the way. 12:52 left for Bethel, so that allows them to try to get back into this game, but they're not making many of them. Offensive rebound. Lutz ran into Hilliard. Joel Dyer able to knock it away. Jackson Paul picks it up, and he gets a foul called on Bethel. I think. Okay, yes, it is going to go on Bethel. Based off of Coach Alford's reaction, he thought it may have gone on Jackson Paul, but Jackson gets a nice applause as once again he just mops the floor again.
As he deserves that applause. He's diving on the floor. He's going to make the dirty plays. A guy that you definitely want to play with and you hate to play against.
Hilliard against Goodline. These two working hard against each other. Zach stops and gets the roll.
Great touch. That hit the front of the rim so soft it almost had no choice but to go in.
Goodline gets defended for the whole court. He scores it anyways. Hilliard against Dyer. Goodline and Sparks on their way for another 50-plus combo game. Another foul. As that is Edwards with the bucket. And I believe that's his first 2 points. It is. He was 0 for 5 before that. He's got a chance for one more.
Edwards had his best game of the season offensively against the Foresters last time at home. He had 17 points. just now getting in the scoreboard, in the scorebook today.
That's the difference, too. I mean, they had guys go crazy. Not to mention, Huntington fouled 29 times. Bethel shot 35 free throws. Huntington shot 15 in that game at Bethel. And, you know, Corey would say his team had a much different identity then. They couldn't play defense. They couldn't get rebounds. They still have not rebounded it well, but their defense is a whole lot better tonight. Jordan rejoins the 5 for the Foresters. Joel Dyer out there as well. Mitchell Wilson, you can see him on the bench, still out. Good line, tried to get it back, and then Hilliard knocked it out. I don't know if you remember, I think it was Clay Hilliard that I said had a nice acting job last year against Zach Goodline on that swing through.
Absolutely.
And I just got torched by the Mount Vernon fan, so I will not be saying that tonight. I really was giving him a compliment, and, you know, acting's a part of basketball. We've already seen Jackson Paul do it a few times tonight. Jordan right at the rim, left it short. Phillips, who's back in, got the rebound.
I really like that, though. You're catching it at 6 feet, turning around, maybe to his weak side, still used his strong hand, but I like that from Jordan.
Joel Dyer again called for another touch foul, and Foresters can't believe it. They thought Lutz shoved off again. I think they've got a fair argument. Take a look, Con.
He gets that arm extended, which typically is what they like to call. If they see that arm's extended, they tend to call that offensive, but he saw it differently.
And like I said, Bethel shot 20 more free throws in the first matchup. And Corey said we got a tough whistle in the second half. He doesn't usually say that, but right now they're getting a tough whistle in this second half. Thankfully, they're beating the brakes off of Bethel right now, up 21.
Alfred's a little different on the sideline than the last coach that was in this building. He's a little more on the calm side. Doesn't seem to get after the officials as much, which probably plays in his benefit.
No way. You think? Is Ty watching tonight, do you know?
He told me that he was going to be listening in.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that. He's counting down the days to opening day, I bet.
He loves his Reds, that's for sure.
Foresters back the other way. McBride can't hold on to Zach Goodline. Drew gets to the rim. Left hand spins it up and in.
Nice play by Drew Goodline with the off left hand. Nice spin off the backboard. An easy one. I like seeing Drew Goodline take some easy ones.
And he can do that. Hilliard, limitless range, throws it to Drew Lutz. Joel Dyer, another foul called, and this is unbelievable at the moment. They keep giving fouls, and a technical now called on Corey Alford, and he's ticked off. And Corey Alford is one of the most calm coaches in the entire country, and they decide to tee him up. He's had one technical foul in 4 years, Connor. He does not get upset.
By no means am I trying to correct you, but I think he might have called it on HU's bench, as all their assistants and most of their players were up saying something. He very well could have called it on Corey, so apologies. Not trying to tell you that you're wrong, but
we got to get it right, Connor, and
sure.
You might be. Lutz knocks in the first technical. You see Dyer reached down and swatted the ball, and the ref quickly whipped his head around. Maybe his ears a little too open from what the bench was saying. And you could tell that was building up, though. The Foresters have been upset with a couple of calls. Jared Yock standing up. That's 3 now. That's 3 push-offs on Lutz, and it's clear. And I'm not trying to be a homer at all, because I will 100% say when the Foresters foul.
Sure.
But eventually you got to call that off-arm push-off, and it's happened all night.
It's 3 possessions in a row. Like you said, it's built up. It's back to back to back. It can get frustrating as a player, and I'm sure as a coach as well.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from Bethel, because Lutz is top 5 scorer in the country. This dude knows how to get it done.
Yep.
And maybe it is a foul. Maybe we didn't get the correct angle there, but the Foresters need to stay locked in. They're still up 18, dominating this basketball game. There's still 11:24 left in this game, too.
To the credit of the officials, they have let a more physical ball game happen today. So I appreciate the consistency, at least, from the 3 guys in stripes.
Drew, again off the dribble, gets into the lane, falls away. He's got 4 straight. He's evolving as a scorer a little bit. He struggled on Saturday. This time, he's getting into the lane, making it happen. Lutz takes a tough fall away. That's his first field goal, and it might be his toughest shot of the night.
Yeah, that was a very tough shot. Joel Dyer was right there. You can't say that he didn't play great defense. It's just Lutz just rose up and made a tough shot.
Good line to good line. Heard that a few times this year. Zach's got it. Jordan finds Brenner. He uses the screen. It's an offensive foul called. And once again, that's now 11 team fouls on HU in this half, less than 10 minutes in.
You don't like that as a Forster fan. You don't like that call, but I do think it's the right call. Jordan leans that hip and that shoulder in and kind of body checks Lutz. I think it is the right call.
So the rest of the way, it's double bonus. Lane Sparks will come to the scores table. Lutz works with Phillips. Drew gets to the rim, blocked by Jordan. Landon able to get it. No foul called against Phillips and an easy lay-in. And right now the officials are letting everything go on the Huntington side.
I think it would be safe to say that everybody that's not an official is upset with the officials currently. The Bethel fans behind us are letting the refs hear it. The Huntington fans are letting them hear it. And now you hear a nice big applause for when the Forsters do get a foul called for them.
And I can promise you that is not them actually being happy for a call. It is the fourth on Jefferson. And maybe we shouldn't say anything about it the rest of the game, but that's just the sixth on Bethel. They're already in the double bonus the rest of the way. We've had a technical on the bench. Coach Alford, one of the calmest around. We don't know if it went on him, but I mean, right now, this is keeping Bethel in the game, and that's what allowed them to win at Mishawaka.
Absolutely. The intensity's definitely picked up here in the second half. I would just call that Crossroads League basketball.
Yeah.
Two teams at the top of the conference need a big win tonight. They're getting after each other. I love it.
Zach with the jab. Now the step back. Can't hit it. Sparks fights for it, gets the loose ball. Lane finds Jackson, another foul. That's two straight, and look at Corey Alford getting the crowd into it, applauding above his head.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Still trying to keep his team calm, though. But, you know, usually the Foresters get beat on the O boards a lot, and it's still not been pretty tonight, but they've had 6 extra possessions as well, fighting for those loose balls. Sparks, one of the best free throw shooters in the country, knocks it in. 93%. Doesn't miss many of them. At one point, he made 34 in a row, I think, this year. Nothing like Tyler Shively, though, that we saw 70, I think, and then missed 2 straight.
Yeah, 70 or 72 or something like that. Every free throw had a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
He missed one, and then he did turn around and miss the second one as well.
Still a pretty good scorer, a Columbia City guy. Hilliard, open for 3, launches it, gets it to go. The shot fake got him wide open. It's down to a 15-point game, 70-55 HU. Jackson Paul. Drew good line, and now Zach. Drew's shown the ability off the dribble. Trying to do it again. Finds his brother Zach. 14 on the shot clock. Zach, left hand, scooped it up, couldn't get it to go. Anderson with the rebound.
A nice contest from James Anderson. He went straight up, he used his length, made it hard on Zach.
Hilliard from way downtown has pulled his team back within 12. There's still 9 minutes left as it's 70-58.
He can get going in a hurry, and like you said, he's got in the gym range. It does not matter where he's standing. If he's open, he's going to shoot that thing, as he should.
Bethel went on one of these runs in the first half. Zach finds Lane against 2 defenders. Tough move, couldn't get it. Rebound Phillips. Here comes Hilliard. You want to stop him. It's wide open. 3 from the corner. It's good again. That's McBride. That's his second, and Coach Alford wants a timeout.
No better time for the Bethel Pilots than now to have 3 straight threes. An obvious timeout situation for Coach Alford, and he does take one.
It's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. It's 70-61. Foresters still up 9 with 9 to go.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
back inside Platte Arena. All of a sudden, it's a good ball game, 70-61 with 8:43 left. And we knew the Bethel offense wasn't going to be shut down all night long, Connor.
Correct. Like you said, a team coming in averaging 88 points, 87.7 points. Had 45 about 3 minutes ago. You know, they're gonna find a way to get into the 80s. Forster's got to come down this possession. I'd love to see him get something at the rim, either make the ref blow his whistle and get something easy at the free throw line, or get an easy layup, get a dunk, run something for your best players.
So Huntington will have it. Bethel will bring full court pressure. And all the momentum right now in Bethel's favor. Huntington uses a timeout. Coach Alford doesn't use a ton of them. Actually, he'll use them a lot when his team just went on a big run. This time he had to stop one. See if the Foresters can do that. Jackson Paul against Aerts. He's been limited in this game due to fouls. Drew Goodline goes to the rim again. Drew double clutch. Couldn't get the roll. Anderson kept it alive. Lutz pulls it away.
That's the look you want as a Huntington Forester. That's a layup. He just couldn't put it home.
Back the other way, Edwards. He falls away again, uses the glass too strong. James Edwards there to finish.
In my opinion on that possession, Landon Jordan over-helped. I thought the primary defender on Edwards had him, he played him pretty well. He caused him to take a fadeaway jumper, and Landon Jordan over-helped, which led to an easy backside rebound.
Zach swings it. Jackson Paul, he thought about a three. He'll go off the dribble now. Jackson, crossover between the legs to the rim. Can't get the roll, but he'll shoot 2 free throws, and that is exactly what you were looking for. Make Bethel play defense near the rim, and that time they got the whistle.
A great individual play by Jackson Paul there. Got himself a decent look. He's going to have 2 easy ones at the line now.
Jackson, pretty decent free throw shooter. He missed that one though, 68%. He went through a slump from the free throw line where he was 7 of 17 for a while. And he's not a great jump shot shooter. He seems to make the tough ones rather than the open ones. He splits the pair. Still an 8-point lead, but man, it feels like danger zone for HU even though they're in the lead.
Yep, got to come up with a couple stops in a row here.
Hilliard kind of got this run going, hands it off Aerts. Lutz cuts back, shoots it from the left wing, left it short, rebound fought for, and Zach Goodline did a great job tipping that towards Landon Jordan. Every possession now feels pretty big for HU to keep this lead intact. Jackson to Lane. Haven't seen Lane shoot it as much in this second half. Tries going baseline, it was tipped away, and it was obviously tipped by Bethel. And once again, they're gonna have to switch this one over again. That wasn't, I mean, we'll show you this replay again. And the official from the backside called it, but the guy right on the baseline could have easily blew the whistle, and thankfully he did overturn it.
At the end of the day, they got it right. That's what matters.
You're right.
Our fans not necessarily super pleased, but they got it right.
Tipped right there. Out of bounds. Hey, Hilliard, good job acting again. Tried saying it's
Careful
Bethel's
with that
ball.
one.
I know. Don't want to make anyone upset at home. Drew Goodline has it. Zach Goodline now against Drew Lutz. 2 great guards. Fall away floater, rims off. Anderson grabbed it. Lutz going down the floor. Slams on the brakes, flips it up, scoop and a score, and now it's back within 6.
Really good individual play. Great footwork. Got Landon Jordan off of his feet. A little up and under with a strong hand. Good spin off the backboard. Nice play.
HU needs a bucket. Zach will try to do just that. Falls away, forced it. Anderson rebounded it.
A little bit of a force there from Goodline, in my opinion.
And now Zach fouls on the way back, and that's a frustration foul, but it can't happen in that scenario. He's already got 3 fouls. That's now his 4th, and it's 2 free throws. As good and as smart as Zach Goodline is, that play cannot happen.
Like you said, on the offensive end, Lane Sparks has been quiet this half. Now, I don't even see him really attempting many shots this half. I'd love to see him get back involved because he's a guy that can be a run stopper. They can make a tough shot. They can get to the rim, get to the free throw line, and he just hasn't shot it much this half.
You got to trust Zach now with those 4 fouls, 6:28 left. If he leaves the game, it gets really dicey for the Foresters. He's the main ball handler against this pressure. Foresters need this one badly in the conference. IWU already ran Grace out of the gym tonight, beat him by 31. Drew into the lane. Foresters need a good look, nearly thrown away. Jordan tried going after it. Zach has it. 6 left, 13 on the shot clock. JP working with Landon. He had the roll for a moment. Drew's going to try to end the run, and he's done just that.
Drew Goodline was due to make a 3. He struggled from the line in the last game and a half, but big time shot right there.
James Anderson, too strong. Airt's second try, blocked by Jordan, and he's fouled on the backside, and that's the effort you want to see from your big guy.
Fantastic on-ball defense by Jordan. He stayed down, caused the miss. The backside rebound, he came and he blocked the putback. Really, really, really well done by Landon Jordan.
And Aerts is out of the game already. He did not have his best night. Just 4 points, 3 rebounds, only shot it 4 times. And inside there, Aerts was dominated by Jordan. I mean, he just rose up, contested that first one from Anderson, who has a few pounds on him. He's strong, stayed straight up, blocked the second one. Now needs to make free throws. Jordan's first, no good. It's where he struggles. Still a 7-point lead, 5:45 left. Hilliard's the one that got it going. He's got it now against Jackson Paul. Both teams going to be in the double bonus the rest of the way. Phillips, Edwards can't catch it. He threw it straight out of bounds.
A great front by Zach Goodline. The bigger Edwards was trying to post him. Zach stayed fronted, caused a high pass over his head for a turnover. Great individual defense by Goodline.
You see that, just forced a tough pass. And even if Edwards catches it, 6'9", Landon Jordan with the 72-inch verticals there to block it. Drew Goodline brings it across the floor, and now a frustration foul on Phillips. We've seen it both ways. That's double bonus now, and Drew Goodline is the second best free throw shooter on the team at 91%.
Needs these 2 right now. This would push it to a full 3-possession game at 3 threes if he can hit both of these.
Drew, 2 dribbles, spin, misses it. Shouldn't have set his percentage. Phillips, that is his third. It's still a 7-point lead. Goodline can make it 8 with the second. And that's something that actually was a little bit of an Achilles heel for the Foresters. They didn't shoot the free throw poorly against IWU, but Zach Goodline missed 3 in regulation. That's so rare to see. Drew's good on the second. It's an 8-point lead. Also, cannot confirm that Landon Jordan's vertical is actually 72 inches, but he is quite athletic.
It sure looks like it sometimes.
Lutz working against Jackson Paul. Drew spins left. Hilliard launches another 3. Tough shot, he made it again.
Tough shot. Goodline ran him off the line, forced him to take a 1-dribble pull-up, but nothing but the bottom of the net.
And now we've got to wait and see if the clock needs reset here. Doesn't look like it scored in, or started in time, I should say. And they're going to put it at 5:03 with 30 on the shot clock, and they're going to have to come over here and look at the clock. So we'll take another break. Refs will come and look, and then we'll be back on FDN Sports. This is the under 5 media timeout. Back in Platt Arena, they're going to take 4 seconds off the clock. So it's going to be 26 on the shot clock. Huntington will still have the ball right in front of us. Get a good look at Drew Goodline. He just hit a big 3. And right now, Huntington, again, they had a lot of stops early. But you take a look at the offense for Bethel in this second half. They're already up to 40 points with 5 to play. They got hot.
We talked about it earlier. A team coming in averaging 87 points is not going to be held in the 50s or the 60s.
So Huntington needs to go somewhere to get a bucket. They're in the double bonus now as well. So is Bethel. Double comes. Jackson Paul against Hilliard. Jackson gets down the lane. Only 10 on the shot clock now. 8. JP goes to Sparks. He's been quiet in this second half. He'll take a tough 3 in and out. Rebound fought for. McGuire couldn't get it. Lutz, he'll turn on the boosters. Finds Edwards, backside. Anderson missed a bunny and then a whistle called at the end again. That's exactly what you talked about. Wait to see if it went in the bucket, then they blew the whistle.
Another late whistle. That's one of the plays that irritates me the most, even if it does benefit the team that I might find myself rooting for. Call the foul when the foul happens, regardless of the result of the play.
Anderson, not a good free throw shooter. Just right around 50% on the year. Throws it high up into the air. The first from the righty is good. He's been decent there tonight, though, and he's been decent overall. He's got 9 rebounds, 11 points, and you look at it, he's 3 of 4 from the charity stripe, so well over his average tonight. Actually make it 4 of 5, so he's 80% right now. Got one more coming, trying to cut it to a 1-possession game for the first time in a long time. Anderson missed it. Phillips got the rebound. It's another offensive rebound. Lutz threw it straight out of bounds. He had an open Hilliard, and the Foresters get a little lucky on that one.
The Foresters definitely get lucky. A lack of a block out there from Landon Jordan. Counting on his athleticism, but the ball went away, and a nice hustle play by Preston Phillips.
16 offensive rebounds for Bethel. Huntington just gave up 20 on Saturday. Got to find a way to grab some of these defensive rebounds in the late stages. Now just a 4-point game, 4 left in the game. Zach's wide open. Zach missed it. Anderson has the rebound. Hilliard fires one in transition. No good. Jordan rises up, tipped out, and it's off of Landon. And guess who kept it alive? It's Jameer Jefferson.
Back in the game just recently, he got his 4th foul about, I want to say about 5 or 6 minutes ago. Just recently came back in the game and already making a difference.
Huntington just hanging on right now. Anderson throws it up top. Jameer Jefferson back in. Hilliard drives baseline. Drew Goodline cuts him off. Hilliard drops it inside. Jefferson's been great offensively tonight. Tough shot, can't get it. Got his own rebound, foul called, and Zach Goodline's out of the game.
Just great pursuit of the basketball by Jameer Jefferson. He missed the first one, sprung back up off the floor, got his own rebound. Just a great all-around play by Jameer Jefferson.
And you see there, Landon Jordan nowhere near the rim on that second attempt, and it cost HU. And Zach Goodline, I thought was fouled out of the game, but it appears he's still in there.
Not sure who they called that last foul on.
Jefferson knocked it in despite being a 30% free throw shooter. Guess we'll take a look here. It was on Zach Goodline, it says, but he's still in the ball game. So he's actually only got 4, it says. So I guess that's good news for HU. Foresters desperately need a basket. Sparks got leveled by Anderson. Jackson Paul back to the basket, fall away, hits a big shot.
That's his go-to move and his go-to shot, that little fall away. He shoots it at a high rate.
3-point lead, 3:18 to go. It's all of a sudden turned into a pretty intense game. Lutz against Jackson Paul. Anderson won't shoot any threes. James hands it off. Lutz. Jackson Paul had his hand in there. Now against Landon Jordan. He lost it. Jefferson picked up the loose ball, and he's fouled on his way to the bucket. He'll have a chance for 2 more free throws.
I think that one's going to go on Sparks, which is only his 2nd foul.
Yep, looks like it will be Sparks. Jefferson made his last free throw, but this is not the spot for him typically. Just 30%. Once again, him and Anderson been better than their percentages tonight. First one from Jameer is short. Foresters have to block out. That's all there is to it, Connor. They've struggled with it all night. This is the biggest possession of the game.
Yep, put a button, somebody, push them back, use your athleticism and get up and rebound.
Jameer rattles that one in. Huntington stays ahead by 2. 3 minutes left in Platt Arena. Foresters cannot separate right now from the Pilots. They are up as many as 21 in this game. Good line to Sparks. He's had a quiet second half. Goes against Jefferson, who's got 4 fouls. Lane spins, shoots it, too strong. Anderson rebounds. Bethel can tie or take the lead now. It's a good look from Sparks, just didn't hit. Lutz has had a cold night from the field. He's got it a long ways from the hoop against Jackson Paul. Lutz off the dribble, stops, pops, misses, rebound, fought for, falls to Jordan, and he's fouled, and Landon's gonna shoot free throws, and Jefferson's now out of the basketball game. I mean, each rebound is just a scuffle going for it, and Jefferson didn't give much contact, but once again, Jordan sold it, and well-deserved round of applause for Jefferson. He just played maybe his best game of his career.
Jordan going to the line, coming off of a miss on the 1-and-1 that he had about a couple minutes ago. Again, just a 51% shooter. No better time to go ahead and hit 2 than right now.
And even if you hit 1, you know they can at worst tie it, I guess, if you don't have a Lane Sparks 4-point play in the repertoire, which Bethel has plenty of shooters. But Jordan, you at least got to get 1 of 2 here.
Yep.
Big free throws for the Foresters, number 23. First one up, that one's no good.
0 for his last 2. He's due for 1 here.
Jordan will get 1 more. 2:18 left. Landon misses them both. Rebound Hilliard. It's been documented. It's a struggle for Jordan. 2 to take a 4-point lead. Doesn't get either. Anderson now against Jordan. 2 minutes left. Lutz comes and gets it. Off the screen. Throws it inside. Run out for Zach. Zach trying to beat the defenders down the floor. He's fouled and flipped it up with the left hand. 2 free throws, and once again, a tough whistle there on Bethel, I thought.
Agreed, but a great defensive play getting in the passing lane by Zach Goodline. He kind of baited Lutz into throwing that into the lane, got his hand in there, it leads to a run out.
That's not, I don't think that's a foul on Edwards. He went straight up, but Goodline is so good at drawing those fouls that sometimes a player like him benefits from the officials calling the contact. Zach knocks that one in. Go ahead.
Like you said earlier, part of basketball is acting. Goodline's found himself being pretty good at that over his years, and he used it right there to get 2 at the line.
Shoots a lot of free throws, knocked in the first, knocks in the second. It's a 2-possession game, 2 minutes left. Edwards just got called for the personal. Back the other way, Preston Phillips, lefty on lefty. Jackson Paul's got to be careful. Bethel in the double bonus. Jordan reaches in, he forced a turnover. Lutz back-to-back turnovers. HU now can take a big swing of momentum here with the bucket. 1:30 left. Zach Goodline, good guy to do it against Drew Lutz, 2 of the best seniors in the land. Zach finds Sparks. Lane off the dribble. Corner for Jackson Paul. Now Sparks, fall away 3, no good. Rebound down to Edwards.
It's a great shot, though. A great pass by Jackson Paul. I don't think Lane needed to fade away there. He was open, but opted for the fadeaway and missed it just long.
And Lane is comfortable moving back and forth. We're going to keep it here for this full timeout. Again, though, Huntington wanted to shoot more threes and shoot them at a higher percentage. Last 2 games have not gone that way. They did not shoot it well against IWU. Tonight, they're 6 of 22. Most of their work, again, inside. But, you know, Coach Alford even said we want to shoot more threes, and they can't get that one to drop in. That would have been a big one for Sparks. And, you know, even like you said, Sparks likes shooting those off-balance shots, so you live with it. But now it starts on this, and you got to get a stop, and then you got to get a rebound.
Absolutely. On this defensive possession, I'm still finding a way to get the ball out of Ludd's hands. Yes, he's been cold. Yes, he's turned it over a couple times. He's struggling more so than he normally does tonight, but I'm still making somebody else beat me. I'm not losing Clay Hilliard. I'm making a non-shooter go and make a play.
Lutz has 17. 11 of them have been free throws. 3 of 16 from the field. Hilliard leads the way with 18, 7 of 14, 4 of 7 from downtown. On the other side, it's Sparks and Goodline. Lane has had a quiet second half. He still has 25, well above his average again. Zach Goodline has 24. Jackson Paul with the other 11. Drew has 10. Cade Brenner with 5 and 5. What a big difference that is right now. And then let me take a look here. Landon Jordan with 2 and 8. Gage McGuire has 2 as well off the bench. So it's been a balanced attack a little bit, still leaning on your 2 horses. And they're going to have to down the stretch here with 1:07 left. McBride in the game. We've seen him hit 2 threes. He's running the point right now against Drew Goodline. Phillips against Sparks. Handoff Hilliard. Jared Yock screaming out the play that Bethel is running. Inside, Phillips scores it easily. That cuts it to 2. Sparks has it, pushing it across the timeline.
Like you said, Jared Yock screaming the play from the bench, but still Bethel gets an easy layup.
I swear, Jared knows every play of every opposing team. But right now, it's up to his team to make a play. 40 seconds left. 2-point lead. Drew Goodline to Jackson Paul. Here's Zach Goodline. 9 on the shot clock. 7, 6, now 5. Zach falls away from 15 and hits!
Goodline's a big shot taker and a big shot maker.
Hilliard back the other way. He got it to go. Still just a 2-point game. 19.6 seconds left. You talk about shot making. It's on full display in this game.
There's one thing you don't want to do in that situation as Huntington is give up a quick 2. No passes came down. Granted, it was a very tough shot. They forced him into a 15-foot fall-away baseline jumper, which is by no means an easy shot, but nonetheless, a quick basket for Bethel is exactly what they needed.
I mean, Hilliard up to 20. He didn't play half the year because he transferred within the Crossroads League. And he did it early enough into the offseason that he could still play. So he has played a handful of games now. Absolute stud off the bench. You bring him off the bench to a team that scores 88 per game, you're in a good spot. Right now, though, it flips back to Huntington's approach offensively. Landon Jordan's not going to be on the floor. You put your 5 best free throw shooters out there, someone's got to step up and make 2 more, Connor.
Yep. With this lineup, I'd like to see Jackson Paul take it out. I think it'll end up probably being Goodline. He tends to always take it out against the press. But really, all of them out there are fairly good free throw shooters, but I'm trying to get the ball into Sparks' hands, Goodline hands.
81-79. Might see a little football play here by the Foresters, as all 5 will line up out of bounds. We saw this actually at Grace last year in the regular season game where Huntington beat the Lancers. So Zach's going to take it out. He can run the baseline, and he can actually throw it to a teammate also standing out of bounds. Sparks, the best free throw shooter on the team. He's got it. Time's ticking. 17, now 15. Sparks has to get it across. Launches it over the top. Jackson Paul is who they foul, and if you're going to choose one for the Foresters, that's the right guy.
Jackson's a 68% free throw shooter on the season.
And, you know, you do want to foul Jackson Paul, but he's kind of got that it. He's got that thing that motor always runs. See if he can come up big. First one. Good. So that makes it a 3-point game. Jackson gets 1 more. He's come on late just like he did on Saturday. 12 points, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. This is his biggest free throw of the year. JP, 1 dribble, pops it, hits it. Absolutely clutch for HU. 1 stop away from being tied for 3rd in the Crossroads League. McBride can't find anyone. He's running out of time, throws it off the foot of Zach, and that should do it. Huntington should not even play defense on this possession up 4. I mean, clear it out. 2.6. They go inside. Anderson can shoot a 2 all day long, and he does with 0.4 seconds left. Foresters get it in, and they get a massive victory over the Bethel Pilots tonight. 83-81 final score in Platt Arena.
A tale of two halves, but Foresters come out on top. They struggled in the second half on offense. Bethel got it going on offense, but at the end of the day, the Foresters get it done.
So Coach Corey Alford will join us in a minute. Man, it wasn't always comfortable. Bethel had a chance to take the lead, but at the end of the day, you beat a top 20 team and you beat a Bethel team that beat you the first time around at their place. It's a massive win, and it was all hands on deck tonight. I mean, so many involved. It might not show up on the stat sheet necessarily, but guys like Cade Brenner, Gage McGuire, in a game like this, every bucket, rebound, steal matters, and that's how the Foresters got it done tonight. So we will await for Coach Corey Alford to come on over. If he remembers, he's quite hyped up, and you can't blame him after a season maybe changing win. That puts HU in a tie for third. And Coach Alford had a couple of words for his All-American, two-time All-American point guard after that one. And now Coach Alford will come over and speak to us. Connor, if you'll hand the headset over. If you're wearing an Apple Watch, Coach Alford, we'd love to know your heart rate right now. But, man, what a huge win for you guys here tonight. Now tied for third. You guys split with Bethel. What can you say about your team's performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, those are two really, really good teams, same as Saturday. I don't like how we finished that second half. There's a little bit of mental weakness there that we got to work on, but at the same time, that happens in college basketball. You're up big, calls don't go your way, shots start falling for them. We had done a great job defensively. That's a high-powered offense that we just limited to 81 despite their last 6, 7, 8 minutes. Extremely proud of the way we executed game plan to a T. And to come out with a win, I don't care if we win by 2 or 20. Man, I'm taking wins at this point in this league every single time.
And you guys have played a tough schedule. We talked about it yesterday. Your opponents were 99-19 coming into this game. You finally get one of those, I don't want to say quality wins because every win's quality, but you get one of those ranked wins that helps when you get later into March, and you took care of business. And, you know, you told me yesterday you want to try to bottle up Lutz, make it tough. Coach, you did exactly that tonight, 3 of 16 from the field.
Yeah, I thought team effort, but special shout out to Jackson Paul, man.
Yeah.
What he does defensively is unbelievable. Night in, night out, we put him on the best player on the other team. And that's his assignment. He watches a ton of film on them. He knows their tendencies. And it's not easy to be able to do that and still lead and play offensively. And he's able to do that at a high, high level. And so huge credit to him, but huge credit to our guys, huge credit to our staff. Jared does a phenomenal job with our scouts. And so we were ready for that one. Very, very happy with how we executed.
All right, final question. You got St. Francis coming up on Saturday. Obviously, this is a big, I guess it says, you could say it moves the needle a little bit in the conference now as you have the tiebreaker with Bethel. But looking at St. Francis on Saturday, what's the game plan there?
Yeah, it's a team that we played back in November, just like Bethel, and we played them here. Every road game is extremely tough. They're battling some injuries right now, so we'll have to see how they play tonight and who was out there. But a very, very good team, very talented team. And so we're going to have to watch this one quick, move on, and tomorrow afternoon will be all about St. Francis.
Sounds good, Coach. We'll see you in Fort Wayne on Saturday.
Thank you, guys.
We'll get Connor back on the headset here. It's a huge win for HU tonight, Connor. They split the season series with Bethel, and, man, that's almost one you want to see again in the conference tournament if these two teams meet up again. But at the end of the day, HU gets a win, and like Corey Alford said, it doesn't matter if it's by 2 or 20. A win's a win, baby.
Absolutely, and like he alluded to it in his post-game conference there, Jackson Paul, the guy that you can put on the other team's best player.
Your X factor.
My X factor. He's a gamer. He's a winner. He knocked down 2 huge free throws at the end. You know what you're going to get out of Sparks and Goodline, but to get that third piece, and that being Paul tonight, put HU over the edge.
So Huntington kind of controls their own destiny now. They play well the rest of the way. They do have Grace one more time, but other than that, it's all teams below them in the standings who they have tiebreakers over every single one of them. Well, Connor, from the FDN Sports crew and myself, we loved having you here. We hope you had a great time, and we hope the listeners at home had a really good time as well. We won't be back on the airwaves till Wednesday next week against Mount Vernon. Huntington will go to St. Francis for a tough one, and just once again, man, thanks for joining us here tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me, buddy. I always love coming back, supporting the HU guys. I'm just happy to be back, so thanks for having me.
So the Foresters get 51 from Zach Goodline and Lane Sparks. They win by 2, and now they are 7-4 in the conference. For Preston Husband, Connor Platt, and the rest of the FDN Sports crew, we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
One's back.
That's
it!
Catch and fire. It's on the. He made it! Oh my